we are live. Back Top Shot Friday. If you guys aren't familiar with us, the Trash Cats, it's usually three of us, but the other two ditched me to go to a wedding tonight. So we have some legendary guests with me to kind of fill their spot. We have CryptoPapi here, Steph Sutto, and Lindyholic, who joined us last week as well. So you guys know Lindy. But yeah, we're gonna talk about, kind of the Top Shot news of the week and how CryptoPapi and Steph kind of got started in their journey through Top Shot and NFTs and digital world. But I'll let you guys introduce yourself. CryptoPapi, why don't you go first? Kind of show your.
Let the ladies go first.
Okay, yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, Steph
We'll
will
let
go
the
first.
ladies go first.
Ladies
Thank you
first.
for being
It's only
a
right. It's only right.
Wow, so rude.
I'm sorry. I was just going from top to bottom of that.
No, I know. Top to bottom, all
I
right.
wasn't being a gentleman. I'm just trying to snipe horses.
Oh, that, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's like we're gonna be on the marketplace while Steph tells her
What you
story.
talking
Oh
about?
my goodness.
How long should I tell this? How long do you need to process your Z horses?
This
Let me
thing,
know.
I don't know. This one's over.
Oh my god. Okay, well, a little bit about my Top Shot story. I guess I started in October when they first opened up the beta to the public. So it was a closed beta. I mean, I think the earliest people started in June. I didn't get that lucky. That was during the closed beta, but I think I started when there was a couple thousand, maybe 2,000 people, maybe 1,000. And I think I started October 18th, I want to say.
Wow.
And I just started buying like $1 S1 commons. I didn't really know what to do on there. I didn't know too much about it, but I was like, I'm gonna copy this person's YouTube video, and it was Crypto Ed, and he's like showing everything he's buying for under $5, and I was like, I'm just gonna copy this dude, and I copied all of his buys pretty much, which was nice. I ended up getting a Vince Carter, his last shot moment, for $3 at the time, which is crazy.
$3?
$3.
Wow.
3,000 in February.
What a time.
Yeah, I bought mine for around 3,000.
Did you buy Steph's?
Maybe I sold mine to you.
That's a good question. I'm gonna go look right now.
Go check. It might be mine. And no, but I accidentally stumbled upon the website because I was looking for my CryptoKitties account, and I stumbled on the Dapper website, and then that's when I saw Top Shot. But I wasn't planning on joining Top Shot. I was trying to find my CryptoKitties account, and Dapper Labs is the same company that built CryptoKitties.
Right.
They're also the company behind Top Shot.
Okay. Dang, that's crazy. October is crazy early. Like you're probably the earliest person that I know that joined that I know personally. How did you get into like content creation with Top Shot? Is it just like something you always wanted to do, or?
Yeah, I've been doing content since I was like 20 when I dropped out of college, and I really just wanted to be a content creator. I've been doing it. I started off being a content creator for my twin sister, and I used to go to a lot of raves. And so we had a glitter company for ravers, and we'd sell ravers glitter, and that was all on Instagram. So we'd go live every single day on there, doing giveaways, doing all this stuff. And yeah, I've just been doing content for so long. And so I was like, you know what? I'm super passionate about Top Shot. I might as well make content. So I started with Twitter, which is just like, it's easy. You just type some stuff. Like I was just giving people updates. Here are the drops, here's what's in the packs, all that. And then I was like, okay, honestly, I need to step it up. And that's when I started Twitch, which now, I mean, we've grown quite a bit. My Twitch channel has grown quite a bit. And then I'm going to be branching out to YouTube pretty soon. But yeah, the content world, there's just so much opportunity for anyone to be creating content in Top Shot, because that's how you grow the community. If you want Top Shot to survive, you have to grow, you have to help it. And the way of helping it, at least for me, is just by creating content for the people and creating a community,
Right. That's great. Yeah. And we've been pretty new. We joined back in February, so we're late February. So we're new to the scene, but everybody's been very welcoming and willing to work together. So that's been really awesome. So CryptoPapi, what about you? What's your story?
Yeah, so I got into crypto about I got into crypto actually 2018 January. right after the bull market. I've been in sort of technology and around technology my whole life. So I was working with someone in IT who told me, I'd heard of Bitcoin, but he kind of encouraged me to actually look deeper into it. He thought I would really like it based on my personality and stuff. So in the bear, when Bitcoin went up to 20K and it came down to 12K, that's usually when I get a little bit excited about buying anything. And I started buying the dip at that point. I kind of regret not having bought a heck of a lot more, right down to where it was like, where I saw it at 3 grand. I think
Hmm.
3,400, maybe somewhere around there's the lowest that it got. And it was my first experience with something like really, really volatile like that. I'd only really bought stocks before that, and pretty safe stocks too. So I stopped buying and I stopped looking at my portfolio. Now I kept reading up on the technology. I got truly obsessed with like how the technology works, how blockchain works. Kind of never really invested in any ICOs, but paid a lot of attention to sort of the new technology that was coming out in the space, and then stopped looking at my blockfolio, which was like the greatest thing on earth, and really didn't pay attention to it. I'm sure it went down about 90%. By the time it hit its all-time low, and then March happened, man. Like March happened, and all of a sudden we're in a bull market, and all of a sudden the interest is back, and we're in the middle of COVID. I got a lot of energy, and I didn't know what to spend my energy on. So it wasn't like until this. I want to say I think I just started YouTubing either January or February of this year. I was just doing crypto stuff. I had been taking a bunch of trading courses and loved leverage trading. I just kind of like the high risk stuff, and so was kind of starting to do that. But I hadn't really found my place, to be honest, on YouTube. I didn't even know what I wanted to do. I just kind of launched myself out there and started talking, and then it's incredible, like the transition of my avatar from February till now. So I get into, from crypto, I get into NBA Top Shot. I actually, what I find amazing about this is that I found out about Top Shot not through crypto. I found out about it through collectors, friends who were collectors who had heard about it. And so then I kind of put two and two together, like, whoa, this is an NFT. This is what NFTs are all about. Of course, I had read about them. I had never bought an NFT and literally the second I got into Top Shot, it was just, for me, it was game over. It was like the easiest decision in the world to start to sort of diversify those gains that I had seen in the last year in the bull market. Because let's not kid ourselves, guys. Like, crypto's up a lot from back then. And so I'm not saying we're going down now and we're going to hit a bear market anytime soon. I still think crypto has a huge potential to Bitcoin. I still think, and I've been saying on my channel, is going to double within the next few months. Is kind of what I think. That's not financial advice, guys, uh, but the point being is, it's kind of when you're riding something so hard, so high, you kind of want to look for something else to diversify those funds into. And NBA Top Shot was just tanking and tanking, and every day, I was looking at the Discord and people were complaining about withdrawal issues, and I usually FOMO into the panic. I never buy when something's like on its way up. I always buy when people are panicking, and I call it FOMO because it literally is FOMO when people are panicking. So that's just kind of my style. It doesn't always work out, right? Some things don't ever come back up,
Right.
but I just like to kind of take risks. And then yeah, so I just kind of transitioned my YouTube, like, to pretty much at this point, it's either maybe the bigger coins, Bitcoin, ETH. I'll talk about them. ETH is so important in the NFT space. Doge, because it's so much fun to freaking trade right now. And besides, it's mostly now Top Shot and NFTs. Is I feel like I found my home, my
Hmm.
family, where I want to be, what I like to do, what I enjoy doing, and I'll probably do this until maybe a few years down the road we find the next NFT, right?
Right. Yeah. And that's a good point you made, that you found Top Shot through collectors, and I feel like that's how a lot of people started. They went to Top Shot as collectors, and then they saw what the NFT space could offer, and they get into all these other projects. Like just last week, all these other crazy projects pop up. We're going to talk about that later, but it's been a crazy week in NFTs, and It's apes to eggs to horses, and yeah, it's been a fun ride. Even though it's like
It's
it
been
seems like it's
crazy.
been forever, but
I gotta stop following Lindy, man. I swear, you're killing me on Twitter, bro. Every time you
Sorry.
tweet something, I FOMO in.
I know, I know it.
You're the worst.
I'm sorry.
Oh man, but yeah, let's start with Top Shot and some kind of current news. We had the office hours today, and Jacob kind of dropped the collector score on us, and the new Cool Cats challenge on us. And what do you guys think about that? The showcase challenge for the Cool Cats 7. You think that's a good idea, or is that something that's going to be fun for the
Yeah. Well,
community?
from what it's sounding like it's going to be a type of play from different sets. So like it'll be I think they're trying to reduce the rush on the marketplace to buy the one player, because that's what we've been seeing so much of, right? And then you get these astronomical prices. Like I think they're trying to figure out, wait, how can we make it a cheaper base for people? Because like we saw with the Zach Levine, what, $60, and it cost, I didn't do it because the common challenges I still think are too expensive,
Right.
and they usually prove out that way. But it's
It was like 250 or something.
Yeah,
yeah, it's 250. So
crazy.
yeah, I'm like, which is crazy because like the Levine's like $50 now or $60, and
Hmm.
then everyone's selling all their base for $5. It's like, well, what's the point? So I think they recognize that that's happening, and for some reason, people aren't learning their lessons on that one. So, and I think part of it is just the serial lottery for people. They're just like, I'm gonna go for it. Maybe I'll get a low serial and
Right.
see what happens. But I think this is their, if it's from what I've understood and what they've been kind of recommending with it, it's going to, or what they've been hinting at with it, with this idea of plays from sets. It's going to engage other moments besides just base, but it's also going to be a way to not create a rush on the market, because maybe there's going to be 20 options for that one play.
Hmm.
Maybe there's 20 dunks in series 2 base that you can choose, and so there won't be a rush on the marketplace, and so it could be a cheaper way to people get in. I'm really happy it's not going to be like the like thing like we had to do with to get the 20 dapper bucks, because like my Twitter for a week was just like
Yeah.
click my thing. I'm like,
The
oh.
whole month,
So
really, just all kinds
yeah,
of spam on your
it was
Twitter
just so
feed.
much. So I don't know. I think I'm interested. I think they're just trying to also experiment with dynamics of how they can use showcases in different ways. So then it makes showcasing something people are just always want to have prepped.
Right. Yeah. They want to add utility to showcases for sure, because
Yeah.
before the contest and before this challenge, really, you just made showcases for fun, right? There's really no utility to it, or no advantage of making a showcase and showing off your stuff. So
Yeah.
good
Or
stuff.
organization. Some people use it.
Organization.
Like,
Yeah.
I was using it for that. Like people that gift me moments, it's like I have one that's like gifts. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't
Oh,
sell those because they're gifts, and
that's a good
yeah,
idea. I never
they're
thought about it like that. To do that.
until they actually have an organization tool. Like it's kind of nice, to use it as that. Or you can be like hodl, like never sell these, and then have a little showcase for that.
Right. And what do you guys think about the new collector score that's coming out? He kind of dropped a little bit of a nugget that when you sell things, your score is going to decrease. Um, and what are your opinions on that? Because I know a lot of people, it's pretty 50-50 right now from what I've seen on Twitter, like how people feel about that.
Yeah, I mean, some people might hate my opinion here, but I said this to Steph in our stream. I also traded the FIFA Ultimate Team market fake money for years, for like the whole time it existed. And there is one thing they did well, and that was reward the active users on the platform. And so you every day you log in, you basically get points. Every day you make transactions in the marketplace, you get points. I do think it's a little bit, I don't know if I love the idea of people decrease their points because they're actually selling their moments. Like that just seems really really silly, because I think that the platform also is used as a trading platform, and there's day traders on NBA Top Shot. They're there just to make money trading on the daily basis. So because they're selling doesn't mean they're not buying right back in and sort of just profiting from it and being active users on the platform, which is what I think they should really want. Is the
Mhm.
more active you are, regardless of what you're doing on the platform, the more active that you are, then the better we all are. So that's kind of my opinion on that.
What do you think, Steph?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to kind of make predictions of how that's going to affect if we don't know what the score is, and if it's like, sure, maybe you get, negative points for selling, but is there a significant chance where it's like that doesn't affect too much of your score? You know what I mean? So it's
Hmm.
kind of it's kind of hard to predict until we really see it roll out. But I do think that, since they're keeping the baller status, and that's going to be two separate things, I feel like, we're in beta. This is their chance to be testing stuff like this out.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work, they'll get rid of it. But I mean, I just want to say, while we're in beta, it's like, why not test something like that and
Right.
just see how it
Hmm.
works at least?
And it seems like the functionality has to be there already because they've already created ways to snapshot accounts to see if they qualify for drops, right?
Hmm.
And it sounds like this is their way of saying, okay, this is going to be the way we're going to determine who can do what and what kind of advantages you get. If they're going to do the selling thing, like I would hope it's maybe by like moments sold rather than like how much you sold, because like that can make a lot more, like if that can make a lot more sense. I kind of agree with everyone though, so it's like it doesn't, why should you be penalized for selling? Because that's just part of, there is no trading, so if you don't want a moment, you got to find a way to get rid of it, and so you go to the marketplace, right? Yeah, so I hope there's cool things like and again I'm really hoping they can experiment with it, because it'd be fun to do, like, they could even do like collector score challenges and stuff like this. Like there's all sort, like, this is the thing. There's just so much potential with this whole platform, and adding any functionality is I think a good thing, because not
Hmm.
only that, it also means like, and this is the other thing we should look at. They're now developing. They're not playing catch up anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
That's good news.
Yeah.
Like we're getting weekly pack drops. We're guaranteed a pack every week now.
Right.
This is like, I haven't seen this since I got on. Like, this is huge. Like the site is just fundamentally different from what it was 4 months ago, which means that they're not playing like damage control anymore. So they're preparing the site to grow again, and these are all good things. So yeah, like Steph said, like this is beta. Like let's try stuff out. Why not?
Right. And speaking of growing the site, they've hired, with the news that they hired 3 more people in marketing. That's a great sign as well, that, there's some sort of push coming, right? Whether it be the playoffs or, a little bit down the road, there's definitely a push coming to get more users in. And new users, they want packs. They want packs. Packs are fun, even if they're base packs. And if you get one every week, it keeps new users interested, and that's a great thing. Speaking
Yeah,
of
look,
playoffs, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, all those big time investors like Dapper got, like Michael Jordan and Kyle Lowry and everybody else, like they want to see this platform win. Like there was a significant invested, valuated the business initially at 2 point something billion dollars. We're still not sure whether this, maybe Steph has some insider information. I don't know, but the whole $7.5 billion valuation that happened 2 weeks after the $2.5 billion valuation is still in question, whether that's true or not. But at the end of the day, these investors put in a lot of money into this platform based on what I'm sure were many, many promises. And what you can see now is if you go on Dapper's website and you look at how many roles they have open, it has like, uh, 20xed over the last couple months. And so you're absolutely bang on, man. Like we're going to see, a massive push to hire first, and then a massive push to kind of innovate and grow and
Mm.
bring, at the end of the day, what's going to matter is bring those active users into the platform.
Right.
Just to add to that too, like I read an article the other day that the NBA PA is like renegotiating their deal with Dapper apparently right now, and they want more money. Obviously, they want a bit more piece of the pie. But here's
Hmm.
the thing: like I was like, I saw some comments like, oh well, that's just going to make higher fees or something. Like, guys, no, you don't understand. It's like that's going to force the players to get involved more, because if they want to make money, they're going to be more invested uh, to want to see this succeed too. And so it's like, I think it's actually a good thing if the NBA PA gets a bit more of the pie, because then it means they're going to be more interested in seeing this thing thrive and succeed, which means you're going to see bigger names doing live streams and promotions with this, instead of just like right now they've just succeeded with natural growth. But this is going to give incentive for perhaps some of the bigger guys who are Like my big hope is I really hope Kevin Durant says something about Top Shot one day, because he seems also to be most in tune of the big names with all this stuff, and I
Right.
think he's an investor, so I would just love to see that. But also, as a member of the Players Association, he has a vested interest to get his cut from that end too, right? So
Hmm.
uh, I don't know. I'm just it's exciting.
Yeah. And speaking of Kevin Durant and those guys, we got the playoffs coming up. Less than, what is it, 2 weeks? 2 or 3 weeks now. The playing games start.
Playing game starts in like 11 days or something like that. Yeah,
May 22nd, isn't it?
Yeah,
Or
I think
Crazy.
so.
playoff.
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Do you guys have any like strategies coming up for when the playoffs start? You guys investing in any players or you know, stuff like that?
We
I'm
all know
buying
who
Chris
Steph is
Paul.
invested in.
I'm buying
Chris
Chris
Paul.
Paul so that when he wins MVP, you know what I mean? But I think I have most of my portfolio in Chris Paul.
Great
But
strategy.
honestly, I actually thought about that the other day because I was waiting for. I was like, nah, I'm staying away from 35K CC moments. Like, most of the supply wasn't out, a month ago, right?
Hmm.
And now, I looked at the percentage, and obviously there's a potential for more supply to come out if they increase the 35K CC, but I looked at it and I was like, okay, we're at about 70% of the supply out for a lot of these 35K CC moments. And so recently, probably about 5 days ago, maybe, I started buying like the star players 35K CC moments because, yes, of course, they can increase the mint. But I'm at least getting a serial that's, before they increase the mint. And B, most likely, if those stars do make it, to the playoffs, they're probably going to create another moment for them. So, yeah, I was actually pretty thoughtful about that, and I have been buying those kind of like floor moments of those star players.
Right. And that's funny because Lindy actually talked me into that last week when he was talking on the show about buying the 35cc moments. And it makes sense, right? Because I don't think, they can always, because it's CC, they can always raise the mint. But like you said, it's more probable for them to add a new moment for that player, like they did LeBron this week, right? Or they did Steph, and then raise the circulation of that moment if they need to. So I think going forward, we're going to see a lot of the 35cc moments get vaulted and turn into LE, and the market always reacts to that. People think it's built in, but it's not. It's not. People.
It's not, because it goes up, it goes down.
Yeah. So yeah, good strategy. What about you, CryptoPapi? Anything that
Yeah,
your
I'm at the
anticipation
point.
playoffs?
I've definitely been buying the kind of all stars that I thought were gonna make it into the playoff series ones, seeing stars, players like that for probably about month and a half ago, and then recently I did the same thing. I kind of turned my attention to 35 CCs. Now, I've pretty much I don't know. I think I Devin Booker, and then just a ton of Kawhis and Trey Youngs. I told that story with Steph on my channel. I don't know if everybody knows because actually I was surprised. I thought everybody knew this, but the Trey Young is a Kobe tribute,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the only one on the platform. So anytime I see that thing below $8 and I happen to be on the platform, or below $9, I buy it. $8 or $9, I'm in. Same with Kawhi, below $10, I buy it. And really good
It's
time. I
also
bought some
it's
today.
also the best. It's also the best thumbnail, of the site.
The Kawhi one.
Yeah,
Oh
with the
yeah.
face
Oh
mask,
yeah.
That is
Oh
a cool
well,
moment
that's
with the
why I
face
love it.
mask.
It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, because he's
Hello,
masked. I mean,
Clarice.
But yeah, the Trey Young one
yeah,
is cool.
what you
I
asked
think
for.
Plunge has like 1 billion of them, right? He just kept on buying them. Pretty sure Plunge probably has like 100 of them in his collection.
He did. He got me started. He's the one that got me started. He drunk bought them one night, and then I was on a stream that night, and then I got off of it, and all I did was just buy them as well. And I paid, oh my god, I think I was like at 19, $18, $17 I was buying them. So then I realized, oh man, then I did my research, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I FOMO'd in, then did my research, then looked at the circulation count. I'm like, oh man, these things are going down to $10 easily. And that's where they've hovered now. And at this point, I just buy them. Sure, could they go down to 5? Sure, if they keep slamming packs in maybe, but that's fine. Whatever. I don't worry too much about trying to time the market. I just buy it kind of every time it averages down by like 50%, I'm in again.
Right.
Yeah, I think too. You have to like remember like there's a lot of moments being pushed out now. Like we're probably going to see about 1 million moments a week at least with base packs, which is a lot. And I think the total minted population right now is 10 million. I think something like that, 10 or 11 million, somewhere around there. But like that's like that's maybe a run of. Let me think here. I just got to do the quick math. It's probably a run of Prism basketball, maybe even a bit less. Just 1 year of Prism basketball, the entire site moments. So just to put that, and Prism puts out like Panini puts out like 30 basketball sets a year. And it just shows you like comparison to it's like we're still pretty early in terms of print runs and everything. Like Prism base, they print them into the hundreds of thousands.
Mhm.
And 35K is pretty low in regards to that, I think too. So it's helpful to kind of keep that stuff in perspective. I still remember when we were all thinking like 15K was too high,
Right.
and there will come a day where it is high. But I also think, because again, I think they're also doing this. It's their way of rewarding us for going through the ups and downs of all this. They know we're risking our money to make this site work, so they have to. They want to reward us in some way in the future without it being without like it's a little like a wink wink nudge nudge here we're helping you out,
Mhm.
but they can't say that either, right?
Right. Yeah.
So and I think the pricing is actually quite good right now, especially with 35K. So like for myself, I'm buying lots of net stuff. Like I'm buying, if I can get them at $5, I'm buying the 35K Michael Porter Juniors, because that's cheap. Donovan Mitchell is underrated and ignored, and he's on an amazing team, and he had a real big him and obviously Jamal Murray's out for the year, so but he and Jamal Murray had a really big run in their basketball cards last year, and so
That was the
if
best series of the playoffs.
Yeah, it
yeah, it
was.
was amazing, man. It was
That
like those two
series
going
was
back and forth on each
unreal
other.
last year.
Yeah, it was an amazing series, and their cards just like shot up, right? And I was just like, and I was buying and selling them a bit, and then during all that, and then so I'm I'm like $5. It's like in a month or two, if they get a good bump, people are gonna go for those first because they're $5. They're cheap,
Right.
right?
Exactly.
So so you go to those low entry points. It's I used to have like this kind of stick my nose up at really cheap moments idea. And it took actually the bear market between January and February to make me realize, like, no, this is a place people work to, and it's also a good way to just, like, over time you can just, hey, like I've been buying some other stuff today, like I've been buying the Durants if they hit $20 because I know they're going to sell for $25 in 3 or 4 days.
Mhm.
I'll take the 20% return
Right.
and increase my account to buy something I really want to collect. So, but also Durants
Yeah,
are just good to have.
the crazy thing is, right? I haven't seen $1 moments. Obviously, Steph has, but
I have to.
when we start to get to $2 moments, and if we do get to $1, I mean, it takes nothing to increase by 100%, right? It's
Exactly.
because they're not doing like the tops where they're doing dollars and cents, right?
Right.
So it literally, I can only imagine an established platform like Top Shot. Maybe back, obviously, when Steph was investing, different story. Like that took a lot of risk, and moments are $1 and nobody's buying. You're kind of like, should I put my money in this thing? But now, if we see dollars, moments at $1, wouldn't it just make like real obvious sense that they're going to be at $2 at some point if they're, let's say, they're 35,000 cc, which I don't think they're going to get down to $1, but maybe they're 50,000 cc. Like you would imagine, well, a year down the road when there's 100,000 cc's or 150,000 cc's, like it's going to naturally push them up. It's not going to take much to double or triple that.
Right. And you're buying. If you're buying. Go
I
ahead,
don't
Steph.
think they're going to $1 in series 2 though. Like I did a poll on my Twitter because I was curious to see other people's thoughts, and honestly, the majority of people do not believe that they're going to $1 in series 2 either, and I just don't see that happening. Like, I mean, like we only have so much time before it's series 3. I I I I would give a rough estimate that at least we're in series 3 by December, at least.
Mhm.
But it's like, are we really able to see $1 moments? They would have to be pumping out base packs daily because weekly is not going to cut it. So I don't know if they can actually do
Yeah.
that, then maybe. But I don't know if we're going to see $1 moments. I mean, I'll be happy if we see $3 moments consistently
Mm.
without bots taking them.
Yeah. I think like my theory has always been that when we're out of beta and maybe towards the end they're going to start testing this is they're essentially going to as packs sell, like when packs are going to be more easily available and their system is able to handle it, which I think is going to come because I mean like we would never have even thought these days would have come even a month ago, where we're at right now. So I what's going to happen is more packs buy. Well, we're just going to mint more, and we're just going to mint more, and we're going to keep on minting, keep the prices low on purpose to help people. Because again, like, because then if someone comes in, it's like, oh, I can't. Okay, I'll buy a pack. Okay, oh, $3. Okay, I got in my pack. Well, I'll throw them up on the marketplace. Oh, they sold. Oh, I can go buy one moment for $3. And that's how you like. That's how I got in. I was like, that's because back in the day, even in early January, you could buy a Series 1 pack. You'd sell the pack you'd spend $14, get your 5 moments, maybe get $8 or $9 out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just like, okay, but then you start playing the marketplace and that gets you involved. And they need that. For a lot of people, that psychological barrier, it's like even $5, they're like, well, $5 for a moment, that seems expensive when I can go get a card for 25 cents. So there you have those barriers you have to overcome, but I don't think we're going to see them with this. And if we see $3 moments, like if I see $2 and $3 moments, I'm buying as many as I can. And I'll hold them for 2 or 3 years.
Right. So, Steph, I was just curious because you joined in earlier than all of us, like a lot earlier, and I know there was a time where there was kind of like a lull in the market, right, in the ecosystem. What made you kind of stay? Like, did you ever get kind of discouraged of like, well, is this not going to work, or is this not going to gain the traction it needs to get popular?
I didn't I wouldn't say that I ever doubted that it wouldn't gain traction. It was a matter of when. Like there was a point I think in November and December where people were begging Top Shot to market, like begging. Because it was the same, like they used to have they actually had brought it back, but then they ended up getting rid of it. But hopefully they bring it back in the future, where you could see in real time who bought what moment. And it was like you could see the most recent 4 just at the top of the page. I think they had it in January, but they got rid of it. I think they'll come back with it. But there was a time where it was like literally the same 10 people buying every day, like the same 10 people. And it was like, okay, like this is getting ridiculous. The same people are buying and selling from each other. And I thought that we'd get to this point where we're at now in like maybe a year, maybe 2 years from now. And so I was like, it's going to be a while. Like, it's just going to be a while. So I actually took a break in November and most of December. I took a break. I didn't even buy packs. I didn't do anything. I was like, in fact, I started buying on October. I didn't sell a single thing until the pump in January because I had forgot about I was like, I believe in Top Shop, but I'm just going to kind of like, forget about it for a little bit because obviously there's nothing happening. And then I got the email from Katie Tedman to all of the Top Shot users. And she's like, this is where our chart has been. And it was like this. And it just went straight up in January from that January pump.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what the fuck? And I log in. I'm like, you mean to tell me my $1 moments are now worth like, I think it was, they maybe went to 15 in January. And I was like, what the hell? Like, how? Like, what happened? Apparently it went viral on Twitter. I don't even know because I wasn't alive during that time. I was like, I forgot about Top Shot. So yeah, I think a lot of people are kind of like that now is they maybe took a break from Top Shot during this time because it does seem like kind of a boring time. Like, after the February hype, we've had a couple months of just kind of like, Top Shot's working on some back end stuff, which is great for the platform, but maybe a little bit boring for the users. So we've seen volume of sales and buying really go down quite a bit. So I do think maybe some people were in the same boat as I was in November and December, where I'm just like, I'll just take a break. Like I believe in this platform, but I'll just take a break.
Right.
I'll be honest, even myself, like this week, I took a few days off and I was just like,
I noticed. I'm like,
Yeah,
where's
I know.
Lindy?
We need
I don't know what
guidance,
to buy
Lindy.
anymore.
well, it's just like,
Tell us.
it's like I needed to like concentrate on like more important things in life. As
Mhm.
much as I love Top Shot, I'm like, there are more important things in life than Top Shot. And I just like, I also just needed a little mental break from looking at my screen too much. But it was just like, I was like, I don't really like, I was waiting for the pack drop because I was like, I knew what I wanted to buy then. But I'm like, I don't really sold my Ja Morant hollow from my Giannis hollow achievement, and then which gave me like a lot to play with, and then I was like, okay, now what do I do? I don't know what to do,
Mm,
and I know what I want to buy, but I know it's not the right time.
mm,
I'm just gonna wait and just take a few days off, and it's do what? Okay, okay, the Top Shot's still there. Prices aren't tanking anymore. Like even though we're not doing, this is the interesting thing. Like I don't know if people have noticed this. Like today we've only done like 101.5 million in the last 24 hours. Prices aren't tanking anymore.
right.
Yeah, that's true. We've been stable for the past, I want to say, week and a half. We've been pretty stable.
People aren't panicking anymore. They're not like I think also people are learning like maybe my moment won't sell in the first hour I post it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
Maybe I
lot of
shouldn't sell
that. There's a lot of that.
maybe I shouldn't sell my Series 1 rare. Like for what? Why are you selling that? I don't get it. Eh? Every time I see that I get so frustrated. Why are you selling this stuff?
Yeah. Every time I go on Live Token, I just shake my head at the feed, and I'm like, what? Why are these people selling these things for ridiculous prices? Like you don't have to go. If you're selling something, you don't have to go $5 under the lowest bid. Like, what's the point? But people do that, and it's just I don't know. The
There
market's very
there has
inefficient right
been,
now.
I gotta say though, there is a little bit. I don't know how things were 4 months ago, but you can kind of feel the vibe on Twitter when people get bored of something, and they got a little bit bored of NBA Top Shot. Especially those that like it wasn't mooning anymore, and they saw their accounts double, triple every day. It kind of feels like they might sell that loss to like FOMO into like eggs and ponies and bears.
Hmm.
I'm kind of getting that vibe and that feeling. And then I do really believe though, like for me, I always say this: NBA Top Shot is Bitcoin. Is the way I look at it. It's my currency. It's where it's my home base. Everything else I do is just to acquire more Top Shot moments. And I do think there is like a lot of crazy NFTs coming out, and Gary Vee is gonna bring a ton of people into the NFT space that have not been here before. I haven't had as many people contact me in the last couple of weeks about NFTs ever. Like, and these are people that are not in crypto, and they're messaging me privately, like, "Hey, did you hear about that Gary Vee thing?" And I'm like, "What the? It took you like mainstream to actually ask me about NFTs, and I've been telling you I'm YouTubing about this." So
Mm,
anyway, I do think that this is a distraction a little bit, and there will be some time we will get our day where people will FOMO right back into NBA Top Shot, whether it's because they make profits, Doge pumps, and they make profits on Doge, and they're looking for the next thing to put their money in. And so, again, not financial advice, guys, but I do kind of think it might happen the same way it did before. I kind of keep looking at those charts, and I think it may just be like everybody rushes back in. Whatever happens, maybe it's news, maybe something gets announced, or maybe it just goes viral again, and we'll see a quick run up.
Yeah. Well, like I've even had some success with NFTs this week, and like I can only withdraw so much, even when you sell Ethereum and stuff. So it's like, so my thought is, it's like when I get to a point where I'm like, okay, this is all I can withdraw from Ethereum. So I'm like, I'm gonna put the rest in Top Shot because then it can become a store of value for me, right? And I think you're gonna see that a lot from people. They don't want their Ethereum sitting there; they want it working for them, or
right.
Bitcoin or whatever.
Yeah. And
You know,
Top Shot.
sorry, I was
No,
gonna
you're good.
say, what's funny is I Ubered today to Best Buy, and this dude, I was talking to him, and my Uber driver, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm doing this charity stream tomorrow, and with this NBA player, and it's for NBA Top Shot. Have you heard of that?" And he's like, "NBA Top Shot, yeah, like I've actually heard of that." And he's like, "I've been meaning to get in it, but every time I try to sign up, it's closed." I was like, "Well, when's the last time you tried?" He's like, "A month ago." I'm like, "Well, try again. It should be open." And I was like, "What have you heard about it?" He's like, "Yeah, I just heard that like you can make a lot of money in it," and that's all he heard. And I was like, I think that honestly is what the narrative was in February, which is why it was such a big run up.
Mm,
Like everyone only looked at it as a vehicle to make money, and I think to Lindy's point is we've kind of hit the point where it's like all those people kind of like already sold at a loss and they're gone. It's like we're kind of at the point where people are like, okay, like I actually believe in Top Shot, like I'm here to stay, and all those people that were just here for that quick little, burst that we had, it's like they're kind of already over. But yeah, I mean, when the narrative is, look at this huge sale we had and look at this huge sale. And it was literally all about the money. That was kind of a little bit of obviously that's why people get in, is because of the money. But it's like, that's also why people, are only in it for the money, and all they're doing is flipping packs. And it's like, that's why I think, coming full circle to the collector score thing, like that actually might really, really help, deter, reject like all those people that are only here to flip their stuff. Because if that ends up hurting them, for their score, and their score affects if they can get into certain packs or not, like they might think twice about that.
Right, exactly.
I just-
Because go ahead, Lenny.
I was going to say quickly, I just thought of this too. It can also give financial advantages to people with high collector scores. You're going to get lesser percentage of dapper fees.
True.
Right.
We
Right? So
talked
then
about
it
that.
encourages the flippers to want to build up their collector score so they can get lower dapper fees.
They have Roham has said that in the chat, where he wants to do something like that, where there's levels of dapper fees. I could see that happening.
That would be a great thing, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You got to reward the, like CryptoPapi said, the active users on the site and the collectors. So they're talking about, everybody's talking about horses in the chat.
Oh,
Bruno
do we have
says
a-
maybe
do we
I
have
could
a chat,
read for a
guys?
10K LeBron. What's up? Yeah,
we have
it's
a chat?
it's on the YouTube
Okay.
page.
Oh, my
Aaron
bad.
says I may just flip the horses for more moments. I mean, the way
Yep.
the way the drop went today, it really makes you appreciate how Top Shot has evolved the drop process, right? It's so streamlined now, it's so smooth, like you know what to expect. Going into the Zed run drop today, it was chaos. It was like they did waves and they limited people, but once you get in there, it was every man for himself, first come, first serve, and it was not a pretty sight. I was lucky enough to get a horse, but a lot of people were not as lucky. But yeah, speaking of other NFTs, like with Top Shot being kind of the gateway, did you guys like get into any other? I know Lindy's laughing because he's kind of got into a bunch of stuff this week, but you guys get into any other NFTs through Top Shot?
Which one did I not? I'm telling you, I literally went from being a guy with a bean, like my picture was like a guy with a beanie, to literally a guy with an egg, to a guy with a bear, a guy with Voxy, a guy with Voxo Deuce. I don't even I think I'm on all of them. I mean, I don't know if we can share screen here, but it's been a crazy ride.
Yeah, I think kind of correct me if I'm wrong, but like the cycle of the NFTs right now is kind of how Top Shot was in February, right? Everything's going up. Like you buy one thing for 0.01 ETH and it goes a week later, it's going for 2 ETH or 3 ETH, and you're making 10, 20, 30 extra money. And everybody's trying to get in right now. So it's you kind of have to pick and choose, right? Because there's a lot of pitfalls too, that because there's so many projects coming out. Is there anything that you guys are like excited about that's coming out soon? You want to touch up on
Dapper,
that?
whatever Dapper has
Whatever.
coming.
The genies.
UFC genies.
Yeah.
True. Well, we
Mhm.
saw that Dapper partnered with them, and they're going to be creating a marketplace for genies. Which when genies first came out, I was like, oh shit, this actually looks good, because they're partnering with all these celebrities, and we saw that Shawn Mendes drop. We saw they're partnering with DJ Khaled, Justin Bieber, all these famous celebrities, and you got a genies thing. Oh, you got
Nice.
your genie.
I
You
got
got
one
your
Listen,
genie
too.
naked, dude.
my
Come on.
my
At least get the
my
overalls.
genie is on clothes strike. Okay, he ain't getting dressed until he gets something other than a crop top.
At least get the overall, the mermaid overalls. Come on.
I saw that my wife got those. I got my wife to install the genie
Oh,
app, and
man.
she got one, and she got the overalls yesterday, so that was cool.
Yeah, I picked up the puffy jacket today. It was kind of clean. I like that.
Oh, there's a puffy jacket.
Yeah, I
Oh
don't know if it's still on the
it's
site,
pretty
but it.
cool actually.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
But I have a
literally buying.
theory. Listen, I have a
Okay.
theory on the genies.
Mhm.
I think they are like total speculation. I don't even know what the genies is going to turn into, right?
Uh-huh.
But I think they're like, so you know how they're giving us free coins,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and so they're giving us like, I don't know, stuff I don't want to wear, thinking that I'm going to spend my money on it, and then when they actually release stuff that I want, then I'm gonna have to spend my money on it. That's my theory. So I'm actually hodling my coins. I am not spending anything until I see something I really love.
Well, they came out with the statement. Actually, I think it's on the Genie's app where they said, like, the more like that you buy these little like clothes that they come out with, the more customizable your Genie will be in the future when they.
Interesting.
Yeah, so maybe if there's an
Hmm.
advantage, you might be effing yourself over.
I
I
know.
know.
Put
It's a
some clothes
trap.
on
It's a
them.
trap.
Put some clothes on them,
We'll do
Papi.
an experiment. We'll do an experiment.
It's funny, like these NFTs that are kind of like more I guess social symbols than utility, because you have like CryptoPunks, and then you have the apes that came out last week, right? They People are buying them to kind of get into a community, right? Or into like a club, or because Gary Vee has an ape, Gary Vee has, and he's in the Discord, and you kind of want to get into that circle. And then of course Punks is, a huge community in itself with all the people that invested early.
Yeah.
But I just find it funny, like a lot of people, like Top Shot Fund, his article on why he bought the $250,000 Punk, right? And it's funny that when people go on social media and you see somebody with an avatar of an ape or a punk or a genie or whatever, you are more likely to follow them, right? Because like this guy or this person shares common interests, and I feel like that's an interesting part about NFTs. They're so versatile, and there's so many things that they can touch upon, and it's crazy.
Yeah, like so for me, I got. I remember how I think one of my friends in one of my discords was saying, "Oh, you got to get into these eggs, right?" And so, which I got into. I was like, it was my first NFT, and I was just like, in 08, I was like, you know what? It's worth the shot, and you get 10% back if you use a referral link, and then you can get more if you get other referrals and stuff. And it was just like, but it was just like, and I like the idea. I was like, oh, I get a chance. There's a CryptoPunk in one of those eggs, which would be pretty freaking awesome to have.
Right.
So it was just, I didn't even know what I was buying, to be honest. I really didn't. I still don't quite know. And they've had a few issues this week with some of their code and stuff like that. And
Yep.
it's giving me like a little, but then it was like that. But here's the thing, like, and then through that, I saw the apes, and I was like, I just love the art. And that was my only reason. I was like, I had no expectation. Like, I had zero expectation what that week can happen. Because like, I went to bed. They were selling at a decent pace. Like, I bought mine was like 591 out of 10,000. Like, it was early-ish with no expectation. Then Pranksy comes on and buys like 1,200 of them or something like that, and starts to corner and control the market and forces supplies to the limit, which drives prices up. I actually ended up selling all my apes.
No, you didn't tell me, homie.
Nice.
I got in because of you. You didn't tell me. You dunked
Wow.
on me.
Well, here's my reason though. I'll be honest. There was one reason for this.
He's an influencer. That's what they do on you. They pump and dump.
Listen, no. Listen, there was only one reason I got out. Like it was. I actually do plan to maybe get one back in. But with my apes, I've now paid off like $10,000 of personal debt.
Oh,
Let's go.
That's awesome.
dude, respect. I got
Like,
nothing
why
wrong
wouldn't I
with
do
that
that?
all day long.
Why
Take your
wouldn't I do
profits.
that, right? And so I was like, I had to take my profits, and then I kept some ETH in, and so I've been buying Voxies and Vox Deus. That's been my thing, and that's I find both projects really interesting. They're very different. The kind of voxel whatever thing, like Voxies is a game that's going to be made, and then Voxos, they just like announced today that they're going to be partnered with Sandbox, so you can bring your Voxos into Sandbox, which is great. But what I love, like the interesting thing with the Voxos is that if you're like an original minter of one of these NFTs, you get perpetual profits off the secondary market. So whatever you get a share in that for eternity, which I was like, that's kind of cool because they're not as cheap. Like I bought in at 0.3 ETH, which is not cheap.
Me too.
But again, like that was some of my 8.
When you tweeted it.
Yeah, sorry. I tweet stuff I like. Like I am never gonna be listen. I'm never gonna actually pump my bags. I will tell you what I like, I like it. Never financial advice. I just enjoy stuff. I like sharing fun stuff,
Mhm.
but I like both projects, and I think they're neat. And then I saw Dingaling went in and bought like 100 boxies yesterday, so that made me very happy because
Yeah.
that if Ding's buying, and Wade's
And
too,
Wade's wait,
Wade's too.
yeah.
When those two are
Yeah.
buying, you have
That
some
got me.
confidence in
That
the
got me.
product. You got some confidence in the product, so
There
it's
you
just
go.
fun because like
But Dingling has everything. He doesn't give a f if he lost all that
I know
money. Like, you know what I mean?
But
he's a unique
has he
bird.
sold NFTs though? Do we know that? I'm curious.
He got really big in the crypto world. That's all we know.
Yeah.
He probably bought Bitcoin at $1, dude. Like,
Yeah.
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 No, but I'm saying because I know he hasn't sold anything on Top Shot, but I'm saying, but by the theory of if I don't know if he does or not, if he sells his NFTs and if he dumps on people, I haven't seen that perception of him yet, but
yeah,
it'd be
I don't think so.
interesting because if he is buying and not selling, like, and he's the whale controlling it and he's not selling, then there is a theory that all you gotta do is watch what he's buying and buy that.
Yeah.
Well, and
That's what people do. That's what people do with Pranked, and then they get effed over because they buy from him. So I don't know. I don't know if that's the best idea.
well, no, but here, there is a difference between the two. I've at least personally experienced. Dingaling actually cares about the community.
Yeah.
Like he's not buying to sell. He's buying at pretty high prices, things that people never thought would actually sell at the prices they listed them at with Top Shot.
Yeah.
And now people are getting a win that they never thought they would ever have. Well, yes, I don't disagree with you, Steph, about Pranksy. I feel it is a bit of a pump and dump sometimes. Personal opinion, but it's a perception, right? And yes, he's free to buy and sell whatever he wants, but the apes was easy for him to control. It was a very
For
easy
sure.
market for him to corner. He
There's
can't
no
corner
tier.
Vox.
There's no tier
Yeah,
on it.
he
Right.
can't, and that's the good thing about the bonding curves. It does feel a little Ponzi scheme-ish. But
Right.
at the same time, it's good. It stops the run on stuff that now because now then the ape developers have had to catch up on everything because now they're behind because it all sold out in 24 hours, right? While these other
Mhm.
projects, they need time to get things going. So, um, but like someone like Dingling actually does like care, and he actually engages with the community. Like I know he is in Wade's discords, he's in other discords, he's talking to people, and he's buying from people, but he's not selling. Like he did that thing for Harrison Barnes. He gave Harrison Barnes the number
Yeah.
one. He didn't have to.
Saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
No, he's
I
look,
saw that.
hey guys, when Lindy actually was panic selling his eggs, and I was FOMO
I'm not panic
buying.
stole my egg.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. When he was selling his eggs, which happened to be around the same time that all this fun about the eggs came out,
Mhm.
I was in the Discord, and Dingaling came in, and he literally put the best message out that a leader could have put out, and he said, "Guys, just stop. Archie, I think the best thing you could do right now is address the situation head on, just blog about it, tell everybody the story, and guys, stop with the attitude and let's just wait. Let's wait and hear what he has to say."
Right.
And man, dude, that's a freaking leader right there, man.
Mhm. Yeah, I was also in the Discord for that, and that was needed because everybody was definitely panicking when they saw the mistake. But how do you guys feel about that? Like, does that is that good for the market that there are these influencers and these whales that kind of see a project and they buy a lot of it up and kind of artificially inflate the demand and the prices. And once for whatever reason, they decide that they want out, it affects the market in a significant way. Is that healthy for these projects, new NFTs that are coming out, for that to happen to them?
That happens though with
Yeah.
every business, every single thing. That's always the case. It's never that the masses just all have a little piece. There's always the top 1% that own the majority of the chunk. So even though in an ideal world that's not the case, that's just going to be the case.
Hmm.
So it's kind of hard to like say anything against that because even if you are against that, the reality, like I'm more of a realist. I mean, I'm an optimist, but I am more of a realist. The reality is, let's be real, like that's never not gonna happen.
Right.
But like for example, Whale Vault owns so much,
Yeah.
so much of NBA Top Shots. If they decided to sell, luckily the only limiting factor would just be time. It would just take a ridiculous amount of time for them to list. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
that's on our side. But as soon as Top Shot decides that there's a mass listing feature, we could all be. I mean, S1 could, because they have mostly S1. Like, yeah, that does kind of scare me a little bit. I'd be lying if I said it didn't.
Yeah.
Like Whale has said himself, like the community has to vote to sell, and they've never sold a single thing, which is good. Like my sense is they really are collectors and they want to just own NFTs in the early stage. They're big believers in this as a long term thing, and so for them, it's the buying and selling of the tokens. I agree, like it is. Yes, they do hold a large. It's like they're just as big, or if not bigger, than the Top Shot account,
They're bigger.
which is yeah,
Yeah.
which is just crazy, right?
Hmm.
But they've said they don't. I don't know. They said they have no plans to sell, and they've put some ideas of different NFTs they've had for sale, and every time the votes are always majority in the no, which is a good sign. I mean, but what's good? Here's the thing: if they decide to sell, it might be 5, 10 years down the line where we're all probably a lot better off than where we are now, even right. So it, but because like it did happen in January, right? Like that's what happened. We had Bales Day, but and what happens? Pranksy starts selling off everything,
Yep.
and drove prices down while Top Shot was also having massive technical difficulties, and nobody could figure out what was going on. But it's because they had such a Pranksy had such a cornering on so much of the market. Not just him, others were selling. I mean, listen, I don't blame people. Like, got
Right.
massive profits, but it really drove down prices, and it really started getting people to be nervous about the future. Because I mean, here's the thing: when there's bull runs, that means people are putting significant equity into something. Suddenly, the prices are down half. That's scary for a lot of people. Like some people, it's like they throw $1,000 at this, and it's now down to 500, and that's all they had. That's scary. And we, I think it's part of the early days of a marketplace. I think we're getting. I really do believe. I think we're getting to a healthier and healthier dynamic now, and I think Top Shot recognizes that they need that, and they also want to protect our money because wants to have a good experience. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of that cornering of a market, and I always kind of felt early in the days it was very top heavy. Now I feel like we're the opposite almost. We're like very bottom heavy. And to put it in economic terms, I feel like we need a bit more. Like I've been arguing this since like January. We need a stronger quote unquote middle class in Top Shot because um, to help the equity flow between all the different tiers of things, and it gives people the opportunities to build up their accounts to buy something big eventually. Um, and for people to move down from big stuff to smaller stuff and vice versa. But you need a healthy economy that kind of takes all those tiers into account where everyone can interact with each other. If you don't have a strong quote unquote middle class, that's going to be hard to do. And the whales are going to be up here and the small guys are going to be down here. And there's going to be a few middle class people, but you're going to see these fluctuations all the time. And I think we're getting there slowly, but I still think we got some ways to go on that one.
Yeah, I think as like the platform matures and accounts grow, right? Like naturally, people's account values are going to grow, so you can make more moves that are into bigger collectibles and more rare stuff. So yeah, that's definitely a good point. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh, the
Have you?
go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead. I gotta,
No,
had a
somebody pointed something out to me, which I thought was pretty interesting. I don't know if you guys have noticed this. Um, so my account, so I kind of stopped investing for the last little while. Um, not because I'm obsessed with apes and whatever else, but everything you guys were talking about, just taking a little break, right? Like, I
Mhm.
mean, I entered, a bear market that just never stopped going down. I really did need a break from it. It's healthy. And my account went actually moved up the ladder in terms of like where I am inside the 1%. Like I think I went from like 0.6% to like 0.3%, something like that, without investing a thing. And somebody pointed this out to me in one of the discords, and it's absolutely right. It definitely did happen to me. I haven't really looked into it, to be honest, but that tells me that and I actually don't personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with this, but I think there probably were some whales selling, some people that were not whales but early adopters, let's call them early adopters that were in profits. They're probably the most likely that are selling right now, that are, bringing the market down. And at the end of the day, I mean, that's kind of normal in every market. When there's a huge bull, people are going to take profits, so it kind of feels natural. But anyway, I don't know if it was something you guys have noticed. I you know
Yeah, I did notice that too. Like my account's like middle of the pack, but I did notice that between like late March, early April, like my ranking went up a lot, but my value didn't go. My value steadily went down, of course, because of the market, but my ranking did go up a lot. That's very interesting. I think that I don't know. In these markets, you kind of have to have like a lot of conviction, right, in the platform, in the product, and a lot of people, like Steph said, they wanted to come in, make their money, and once they saw things returning, they just got out. And
Mhm.
what's left is everybody else who kind of believes in the product, believes in the platform, because I mean you can make money off packs right now, right? Like pack drops, but that's a lottery, especially the rare drops, the legendary drops. That's a lottery, and that's not like a sustainable way to make profits. So I think everybody that's hopping in right now, and that stayed, they have a lot of conviction that this is going to work. Like this is going to turn and it's going to get more popular, down the road.
And and that's the other thing, right? Like people are gonna sell their things, and then they're gonna, they're gonna sell, but then they're gonna, those who are buying them, like especially those bigger moments, they're this is part of the limiting of the supply long term. Those who are buying these things right now are buying them to hold them. Like if you're like, the one I watch the most, obviously, because I'm very proud that I have the LeBron Kobe dunk. It's my prized possession. And every time, like I saw it go down all the way to $10,000. I bought it at 18, and I was like, not pull. I was frustrated. I was frustrated that I didn't sell at 30 and then buy back in low, but and buy this thing to flip it. This is a major collector's item that if it got to a certain price point, yes, I probably would sell it, but I'm not really there right now at all. Not even close, because I think it's still actually I think all of Top Shot's drastically undervalued personally, but but watch that. But as people are buying them, those who are buying them, like see those accounts, I'm like, they're not buying to flip. I know the big flip accounts. These aren't them. They're buying to hold, and so that starts to limit your supply at long term. So that you go through these stages of ups and downs, but those waves get smaller and smaller over time, and then you're going to start seeing natural perpetual increase of an item as more and more people are in the whole holding pattern. And you're going to see that more and more with Series 1. I think with all the supply, you're going to see more and more people turning towards Series 1, but it's not going to be the big fast sellers because it is expensive. It's not people are seeing in that like their stable pricing. My little tip to people is look at the 7500s though from Series 2. I think they're pretty much all grossly undervalued, and they're going to be very rare in a year. Be very rare. So, a good place to look.
What are they
Think a
at
year.
in terms of circulation? I'll look
There's
it up right now actually while you talk.
yeah.
Are they almost
Yeah,
there?
I think I want to say they're at 9%. I think 8.5, 9% circulation, like listings of total circulation. They're all out, right? But like I'm probably gonna buy some more tonight. The Trey Young 7500 is $39.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy. His 1500's 350. So it's like you divide by like I don't know. I want to say like you divide by a multiple of 4. You're looking at $80. I have a reason for doing that ratio, but you know, I think it's grossly undervalued. But I think all this because why people just don't know about them. Like that's the other thing. This is why I'm really grateful for people like Steph for doing the content creation. And they're the people who help educate the new people who are looking for stuff on YouTube, on Twitch, on Twitter. With like, how do I know about? Because I think part of it is they just don't. They look at the marketplace, they see what's immediately there. They don't know
Hmm.
to look for this earlier stuff. So we need people like Steph out there to really help get the education out there that there's more out there and there's value for you to get into still in earlier stuff that will help you long term.
Hmm. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard because as a new user, I guess like if I was just jumping into this, I would be like, okay, sure, maybe like how much is the Trey Young? I mean, okay, let's just say the cheapest Trey Young. It's like, do I really want to spend $39? Okay, sure, it's out of 7,500. Yeah, that's a lot more limited than the 35,000. But look at how much cheaper this is. I'm just gonna buy a few of these, and it's like, I
Mhm.
do feel like that's kind of the reason why if you do compare the ratios of the 35,000 to the other ones, it does kind of seem like the 35,000s are, if anything, a little bit like pricier compared to the other ones, or maybe the other ones are lower, but maybe it's a combo. And I do think it's just because they're just a cheaper price point, and it's like I have less to lose, and it's easier to buy, like, and you can buy more.
Exactly. Do it really was enlightening to me. It was when Ja Rule went on Club Top Shot. I don't know if you guys saw that episode of theirs, but Ja Rule, like the rapper, was on and he was talking about it, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't know there was a series one. I was just buying the cheapest moments." And I was
Yeah,
just like, Ja freaking Rule, guys, like millionaire rapper or whatever, right? Guy who I listened to all the time in high school.
Me
I'm
too.
like,
Me
that
too.
that is the new user experience. And it's why it's good to be in the cheaper stuff because that's where people are going to go buy first. So now it's about how do we educate people the older stuff because what's going to happen when there's 200 Trey Young moments in 5 years, right? How do people distinguish things and make sense of things? That education is just really important. It is hard because yeah, like I have multiple friends who I've talked into this, and that's what Steph just described. That's what they all do.
Right.
They go for the cheap stuff because it's also
Mm.
less risky. Yeah, I'll
Right.
pay $5 for a Trey Young moment or whatever.
Can
Right.
you guys explain something to me?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just looking at the platform right now, and I missed this. I clearly was buying too many ponies today, but there's a new LeBron moment out,
Yep.
and the the LE drop is at 66 right now. I'm actually literally hitting buy right now. He's at 66, and the new LeBron moment's at 50.
is he really at 66? Damn, I bought him
He's
at
at
85.
66.
I bought
He
him
was
at
at
Wow.
like
85.
85 yesterday.
Yeah.
What? And why would that
Honestly,
moment drop when the other LeBron comes out?
a lot of no, it's not just the LeBron. Actually, everything across the board dropped a little bit because of the pre-order packs. That happens every single time, though. I mean, it's similar to the Kevin Durant. When On the Moment came out with their whole, oh my God, we found this in the code, everyone buy Kevin Durant's.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I had bought Kevin Durant's at $20. Then they said that it went to 27. It was at 27 for a solid. It's back at 20. And so I think that probably happened with LeBron. It'll probably go back to 80, but it might have just dropped because the pack drop, I want to say. Maybe once the pack.
Probably, yeah.
Well, and
And
there's
the other
also
one,
still
there's not
those.
enough out, right?
Yeah, and so the new ones. There's 14,000 of them in the new packs, which
Mhm.
is a lot of supply. So you're going to see it cheaper than the LE one. But the LE one, they're still in packs. They're still coming out. So that's going to drop prices down too. I think part of it now it's
Yeah.
like people are listing the LE one, but again, it's I'll go for the cheaper LeBron. Right.
Right.
And it's going to be interesting to see how they play all this. Like,
That doesn't make any sense.
I know.
I just bought one.
Listen,
I
listen.
literally just bought a LeBron right now for $68. That's criminally cheap, guys.
Yeah.
I
It's gonna
know.
be
Come
crazy to
on.
see because this is the first time we've seen uh, two common moments, right, of players. 35 cc. So
Yeah.
which one are people going to prefer? Are they going to prefer the better moment, or are they going to prefer the ones that's LE?
Are they going to calculate the possibility that its print run can increase into it?
Right.
Ooh, it's a pretty sick block though, eh?
It's a
It
pretty
is great.
on
Personally-
Sexton. Jeez.
Personally, I think the blocks are like the most underrated play in Top Shot. They are sick. They are amazing. Like
Oh.
I've been buying some of these Donovan Mitchell blocks, and he's like
Mm.
up there, like waving his arms and legs as he's trying to block the ball. And it's like that's awesome. I love the block. I think the block is the second best play in
Yeah.
basketball.
One of
So
the
I guess when you think about it, they're both 35 cc's. So in a year down the road, actually it makes sense. They might actually be priced. Actually, the block may be priced better simply because it's a better moment, right?
Well, not if it increases to 100K, but we don't know that.
Not
That's
if it
the problem.
increases,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Personally, I think the 35K should be at about 1/3 the value of the 15K.
Well, okay, so look at the LeBron 15K and then look at the 7,500. Like they're almost the
Yeah.
same fucking price. But the thing
I
is,
know.
obviously it's like, oh, but it was a no look 3. But it was like,
Yes.
wow, really? Scarcity just got thrown out the window because of that? Like, because
No,
it was a
yes.
no look 3,
Steph, that's
what
me.
happened?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's me. I
I
stashed
don't know.
the
That
3-pointer.
shocked me. That shocked me just, and I don't
I
even
actually-
have the 7,500, but still, it's
I'm
still
actually about
shocks
to
me.
go buy another 7,500 in a couple minutes when my timer blows off here.
Dude, that damn timer. We're on what, 7-minute timer or something?
Yeah, like we're all talking like, hey, the market's stable, but hey, we're taking a dip, man. Like I'm seeing
yeah.
now on Evaluate.market, we took a nice little dip. And don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, I know we had been doing that obviously every time packs get announced, but to be honest, I was kind of hoping that we were getting past that a little bit, especially with the fact that packs are gonna happen all the time now, guys. Get used to it.
Yeah.
Stop panic selling your stuff because
Yeah.
packs are gonna happen. I don't know. I'm hoping that the fact that lots of packs are coming, that people will stop trying to play the game of, well, I'm gonna sell because I know packs coming and then I'll buy lower. Maybe I was enjoying the stability, so I'm hoping maybe this is one of the last times we see this like panic FOMO selling.
Yeah.
We talk about in terms of packs. Can we talk about new rare set coming out?
Yeah.
Throwdown?
When is that coming
Yeah,
out? Because
Throwdown.
I thought it was going to be tied to the collector score, but Jacob said the collector score is not going to be out until mid to late this month. I think that's what he said. But
The reason I'm asking is 'cause they've minted them. They're all minted.
Yeah.
And they're out of 1,800, so they're going to be in the rare category. The question will be, what are they going to cost for a pack? If we look at like all-star moments and stuff like that as a comp, and then I'm predicting because like I'm looking at the list of players and I'm like, there's like 5 or 6 plays that I think if they're the ones I think they're going to be, there's 5, 6, maybe 7 I would actually want. And I
Mhm.
won't be surprised if a lot of people feel similarly. But I think we might be seeing our first rare pack negative EV.
Yeah.
What else
Possibility of getting.
What else is in the pack besides the rare?
This is also the other question, right? Like, how
Okay.
much space are you going to get? And like,
Oh, we don't
like
know
with the
yet.
All Stars, they put a seeing stars in there as well
Yeah.
in base, right? So I don't know. I'm just like, I'm looking at this. I'm like, we might see under $100 rare moments with these packs.
I think you might be right because even with the All-Star packs, even with the Seeing Stars in there, you saw All-Star moments go for around what the packs were going for right after they released, like the Donovan Mitchells and stuff. They were going for around $250. I think that pack was what, 220, something like that. So yeah, you might be right, depending on how they price the pack, of course.
Yeah.
I find it interesting that those All-Star packs were $200 and something, and the Rising Stars are $200 and something, but you have MGLEs who are out of $499, and they're always $99. I feel like
with the NGLEs, I think it was because that's what they were selling for them before. They have to sell everything at the same price all year, or else it's like it creates an unfair advantage to those who bought a hollow or an MGLE pack earlier on. Like everyone's been saying they shouldn't have MGLEs in the hollow packs, and I'm 100% in agreement with them on that. But they have to for the rest of the year with the next hollow drop, which I think will be like.
Why would they have to? They didn't do that with the hollow drops.
What do you mean?
The hollow drops changed price. They're $999. Before that, they were $230.
No, I know, but that was Series 1.
Oh, okay. Oh,
right?
so
Like
you're
I'm saying for
saying
Series 2, yeah.
Do
yeah,
they
so
have to do that? Do they have to do that?
I think they
Or
do
you
because
just
like
get-
I think that like it would be think of it as a buyer. It's like because now you've given an unfair advantage to those who bought the product for the first 2 runs to get some extra MGLEs in their pack for $9.99. Now you're going to pay the same price, but you're not going to get your MGLEs in it. I don't know. I just think they got to run it out, and then it's going to be totally different next year. I also think hollows are going to be higher mint next year. So
interesting.
personally, but yeah, that's my thing. It's I don't know. It's just interesting. Like we're just seeing a lot of dynamics change because like even like 3 months ago, we would have seen 18 out of 1,800. We'd be like, wow, that's way high.
Right.
Yeah.
Or rare.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
that's ridiculous for a rare. I would think they're all under 1,000, 1,800. Like, what the fuck? That's a
yeah,
Yeah,
lot.
that is a
it
lot.
is.
But also, you have to think back in series one. Like, I think this is what we're talking about in the beginning. Whereas, like, I don't know. I think it was CryptoPapi who was saying 35 KCCs. That just seems like so much. But but obviously in a year it won't be. But that's the same as series one when they minted at. They were minting maybe like 1,000 mints. They were minting 1,500. Then they started minting 3,999. Everyone's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? You're oversaturating the market. Like, why are you doing this? And I actually feel like people think that now, where they're like,
Yeah,
what are you guys doing? You're oversaturating the market. It's because they're thinking long term. And it's like,
exactly.
sure, maybe in the short term, we kind of get, screwed a little bit. But I do think, yes, if you hold them, then actually it will pay off. It's just the people that don't, yeah, you actually might get screwed a little bit. It might not be worth it for you.
Yeah.
Mhm. And with this rare drop, I find it interesting that there's so many moments. Do you think they're gonna release them all in the drop, or are they gonna spread it out? Because I think there's like how many moments did they mint?
There's it's 51 total, I think. Is that right? Or 54? It's
But
51, I think.
they're
50 is
all not
51.
rare, are they? They're all rare.
They're,
Yeah,
they're all rare at 1800.
yeah, that's a
Oh no,
lot.
they're gonna do what the fuck? No, there's no way they're doing 51. That's ridiculous. All in one drop. I don't believe that.
Here's the thing, everybody could get a rare pack that way, probably, who would qualify.
True. Okay,
Yeah,
true. So maybe they play that
If
game. I guess they
yeah,
I
make
don't
the
know,
rare less
but if everybody,
valuable.
like, yeah, but if everyone buys them, I'm just gonna be like, it's gonna, it looks like it's gonna be a marathon achievement because of the way it minted. Like, I think if it was 40, if it was 51, it gives you 5 achievements out of with 9 moments to give you an achievement each time. That puts you at 50, and then the extra number one, for the 51 would be your marathon, your master achievement, um, master reward or whatever.
yeah,
But I'm just like, so I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how they play it out. I mean, we'll see. We're gonna find out on. I think we're gonna find out on Monday because they've minted everything. So I'm guess we'll have to pay attention over the weekend and see if they put them in packs.
yeah. I think Monday is. I mean, because they've been pretty consistent with the kind of like the Monday, Thursday, Monday, Friday cadence of pack drops. So probably Monday. Ali says it's gonna be they're all in one 90K packs. So with that, they're gonna have to tweak the requirements, right? Because last time only less than 60,000 people qualify for the MGLE pack. So they would probably have to loosen the requirements a little bit
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
get all the packs, to get everybody qualified to sell all those packs.
yeah,
That's a lot.
yeah.
I
I
find
don't
it
know.
hard
It's
to
gonna be.
believe that they're gonna
I
do it all
know.
in one.
We'll see, or maybe they do two.
You never know with
Yeah,
Top Shot, man.
You
You
really
never know
don't.
with Top Shot.
I think this is an experiment one. I won't be
Yeah.
surprised. Like, it better be $99 because if it's anything more, I honestly would not. I would think about not buying.
You would think about it, but you'd still get in line.
Exactly. That's why I said I'm gonna think about it. I'm probably still gonna do it. Okay.
You think about it for 1 second. You'd be like, oh, I'll still buy it, but
I want
Right.
that Zion dunk, or I want that Miles Bridges dunk, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think there's
there's no chance
Zion,
I'm not buying packs.
Anthony. Yeah.
Exactly.
They're just so just taking out like the plus or minus EV. They're just fun. Getting a pack is a rush.
Yeah.
Even if it's a
Well,
base pack, it's a rush.
I think
We all bought. I don't know if we all did, but I definitely bought packs as a kid of cards that were always minus EV and that I was never gonna sell. Right, like it was like guaranteed. I'm giving away my money, and I still, gladly did it.
Right. It's just fun. It's just fun to open packs, especially those experience they've created with the music and clicking on one at a time, and it's you never know
it's
what
the
you're gonna
best
get.
pack opening experience ever.
Definitely.
Stop.
yeah.
Guys, there are double badges right now. This is crazy. This is listen, it's not financial advice, guys. You do you, I do me, everybody here does they. There are double badges right now going for $4 and $3 right
Yep.
now. Double badges. Like if you're looking for good potential long-term investments, I mean, if you pick up a double badger right now for $3, like, and let's say it goes down to $2. It's not gonna go down to one because it has
Right.
badges.
Even if it
Like,
does, it's $2 that you're losing, right? So
So
who
like,
cares?
come on.
and make sure it's the guys you believe in though too, right? Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
like so I do the card thing too, and I've almost had it on principle to never buy rookie cards in the rookie season because they're always too expensive, and they almost always go down in the sophomore year, almost always. And then it starts to gradually grow, and you have to wait 3 or 4 years for it to really be a return. And so I always avoid rookie stuff. But I'm actually going to be, and I'm not quite there yet. I'm probably going to wait till the off season, but I'm going to be aggressively pursuing a lot of rookie stuff because I actually, I don't know, personally, I think rookie stuff is actually very undervalued on here.
Yeah, I would
Okay,
agree.
Very
can we
undervalued.
talk
I
about
would
that?
agree.
Can we?
Yeah.
This is the. Sorry, we need to talk about this. I want to know your guys' opinion on this one.
Sure.
So, obviously, I think that the new withdrawal FUD is turning into the off-season FUD, and that is that everybody's gonna dump on this thing in the off-season, and everybody's already. I don't think I've talked to a single person that hasn't said I'm selling everything before the off-season, and
Really.
that oh yeah, and that to me, and I'm talking about lots of people in my group that I kind of brought in with me, and so I'm not talking about whales by any stretch of the imagination. Let's just get that right. Like normal collectors that are looking at this, like there's no way that this site holds value in the off season, and it to me it's starting to surface as the new FUD, and I call it FUD because we don't really know. We don't really know
Right.
if it's gonna dump, and it might, and it might not. And if everybody, usually the way markets work, if everybody thinks it's gonna dump in the off season, it's actually gonna dump way earlier than the off season because
Mhm.
everyone's trying to stay ahead of the game,
It's
right?
going to
Mhm.
go down before 3 weeks before the playoffs are over.
Mhm.
If it, or sorry, people are going to start their selling off before then. So the same thing happens in basketball cards, right? Like, listen, listen. This is the first thing to know. You're going to have up and down times throughout the season. Like, part of the other reason we went through that bear market was just simply it's the most boring time in the NBA. Players are being rested. There's nothing to really play for at the moment. The middle of the season, and the same thing happens in cards. So what do people do in cards? They go for the old guys. They go for the retired guys. They go for that's when or LeBron, because his value. This is the thing. Like when LeBron got injured, everyone got freaked out. I'm like, why are you freaking out? His value is already established. He doesn't need to win another championship to determine if he's worth this at this point. He he is already an all-time great. So but so in that dip time of the season, people are buying the early LeBron stuff. They're buying Kobe rookies, Michael Jordan rookies, like the vintage stuff. Then now what's happening is cards start to pick up right now because people are getting ready for the playoffs and so on and so forth. So you're going to see this tick up until probably around the finals until the first week or the first game of the finals is going to be your absolute sell off point, and then you're going to see the decline, and that's fine because what's going to happen in the offseason, people are just not going to be as interested. Basketball
Mhm.
isn't happening, and that's fine. Like, it's okay. Just don't panic sell in that time. In fact, that is the time to buy. That's when prices go down often because people they need the money for whatever reason. I've had to sell an off season before for whatever reason, and I didn't like doing it, but it happens and people take advantage of it. They hold it until the beginning of the season because 2-3 weeks before the beginning of the season, with the first week and first 2 weeks of the season, you guys see a big bump again and things settle, and you just go through these waves, and that's just the normal thing with collecting, and that's always going to happen. You're going to see it on Top Shot. The one difference with Top Shot, we're getting to run it back in the off season. I can't wait.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool. But
Is it MJ? Is it MJ?
nah,
No,
there's no
not yet.
way. They've
Not
already
yet.
announced the
Not yet.
Not
players,
yet.
right? I think they've already announced the players that, or some of the players that are gonna be in the
Oh,
pack because
really?
there's, I believe they announced Trace McGrady, Iverson, a couple other guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
Shaq. Yeah, that's right.
Shaq,
I
yeah.
think Shaq's in it. Yeah, you're right.
Hmm.
Still though,
So,
I mean MJ, put some money into the platform.
oh yeah,
They ideally they would love to keep the, not they probably love to keep it from dumping in the off season,
mm,
especially if we don't get another bull market. If we get
Well,
no bull market from here to the midway through the playoffs and the anticipation is that everybody's going to dump, I don't know, man. I think that might be a good time to look at an MJ drop right near the off season to
Well,
get
and
some
they still
excitement.
have all those auction moments too. Like, but the thing is, I don't. First of all, I don't. If I was working for Dapper, I wouldn't release an MJ moment until we're out of beta. But also the question is, when is that going to be? And then another thing is, when are they going to release all the, because they have so many of those Platinum Ice, which is the 3 out of 3. Then they have the Genesis 1 out of 1. When are they going to release those? It's like they have so much, and it's, but it's just a matter of, are they prepared? So I don't think, it's like, sure, they want to keep the market up, but at the same time, are they prepared? Because they can't just like do another thing where all of a sudden we have this crazy like run up like February if they're just going to screw themselves. They've been playing catch up this whole time. It's like, now they're finally starting to be like, okay, we've caught up, but that was just so much damage that was done. Like such a good thing, that run up was so great, but at the same time, it was like, getting so high and then all of a sudden that huge come down and it was like, oh my God, look what we fucking did. And like, we ruined everything. And so, yeah, they have to be careful with that. I think they have to be really, really thoughtful with that.
Yeah, I think with the MJ, they want MJ and MJ wants on, but MJ wants to maximize his return. If you put it on a moment while we're still in beta, he's not like, then they can get other moments, that's fine, but you're not gonna, it's gonna break the site. And we don't want to break the site right now.
Yeah.
I think what you're going to see is next off season. The other thing is they have to find ways to keep us engaged in off season because this is going to be the ramp up. They've all said, like Warham's been clear about this. When we come out of, we're hoping we should be out of beta for the next season. So the summertime is going to be their opportunity to really engage the community, try stuff out, drop different products. Like my question is just still like, how are they going to do base moments in the summer? How's that going to work? They're just going to find old plays from the previous season or what? But I'm sure they've got a plan. But otherwise, they have to keep us engaged in some way, and they're going to find ways to draw us in with new sets. Run it back. Listen, everybody will drop whatever they're doing to come for Run It Back. Everybody wants a chance at Run It Back. It is probably I would argue it's outside the premier sets, it's probably the most popular set in terms of desirability. It's just a beautiful set, and it's going to, like, I love what Jacob said about how like they want to tell a narrative with each set. So it's going to be about a story in that season, and then all the players and plays around that. I'm like, that's so cool. So they have to keep us engaged, and yeah. So Michael Jordan, he will come. Oh, that's what he wants. Again, he's like Durant. He's going to want to get income on both ends, and he's got to sign his personal contract with them. Because here's the other really cool thing when we get a Michael Jordan moment. Michael Jordan has an exclusive contract with Upper Deck. Upper Deck generally makes hockey cards. I'm a Canadian. I love hockey cards. I love hockey. So there are no Michael Jordan cards in Panini. But we will hopefully have collectible Michael Jordan moments on Top Shot. We will be the only place to get pictures of Michael Jordan wearing a Bulls uniform or a Wizards uniform or whatever, coming to Top Shot as a collectible for basketball collectors. That's going to be a massive draw for basketball collectors. Yeah, they can't get cards with him. They have to get Upper Deck stuff, which doesn't have the Bulls on it, or they have to get old stuff.
That's a good point. You're gonna get a whole new demographic of people flowing in to get the MJ stuff. Very good point. Well, guys,
Man, it's gonna be so interesting to track what happens. Like, because if I just think of Top Shot alone, it would make sense that you know how we're getting all every single time there's a pack announcement, there's a drop, there's a panic sell, and I think there will be a time where we transition to every time there's a pack announcement, all of a sudden a bunch of new users, active users come on the site and they start buying packs, hoping to get the Michael Jordan and the Run It Back series and whatever else that we do. Like that should be that transition should be really good for Top Shot. Now, the only thing that I'm looking at though is that could be a little bit of conflict is UFC, because UFC has a lot of people pumped. And I don't know about you guys, man. I don't know what. Maybe it's the people that I know, but it has a lot of people excited. Like many of the people that have told me they're done with Top Shot, whatever, they weren't patient enough with packs and the experience. Even though after playing with all of these Lindy NFTs, basically like Top Shot is so freaking good compared to everything else. Like the pony experience today was so bad. Like guys, you don't know how good you have it with Top Shot. But anyway, it will be interesting because I don't know. In my head, the roadmap, UFC could be coming out somewhere in and around the Run It Back series in the off season, based on everything I've heard Jacob say about when UFC is coming and when the off season is. So it'll be interesting. We got to keep an
But they're
eye
gonna
out.
have to be in beta. They're gonna have to be in beta. Like it's not
Yeah.
like they're just UFC's just gonna come out and it's gonna be like, guys, the finished UFC product. Like
Mhm.
they're gonna have
Right.
to be in beta for months. Like it's gonna have to be barely anyone in there. So sure, maybe there's a lot of hype, but how many people are even gonna be able to get into the little closed beta that they have? Like, do you
Right.
really think they're gonna be able to come out and it's like guns blazing with UFC? I don't know about that. I mean, yeah, sure, they've learned a lot from Top Shot, but we don't even know what UFC is going to be. They never
Exactly.
even said. Like, we
Yeah.
don't even know what they're going to be. Sure, we all assume they're going to be moments, and maybe they are, but we still don't know, and we still don't know if it's going to be the same structure or what the hell it's going to be. So that's kind of a hard prediction. I don't know. Like, that's a hard prediction to make, I want to say.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
but the roadmaps. I don't know. The roadmaps are lining up a little bit. I will say this. You guys saw how all of a sudden the trademark showed up on their website,
Yeah.
right beside
Moments.
Moment,
Yeah.
which is gone now, by the way. But
Oh, it's not
the
there
best
anymore.
theory, it's not there anymore. It's gone.
Oh.
The best theory I heard for sure was that Moments will be in UFC. It
Mm.
makes a lot of sense to me that they're trying to trademark that and make it part of their ecosystem, the UFC, NBA Top Shot, and anything else they do. And then everybody heard Rohan sort of slam Tops in a way, which, by the way, I agree with it. I haven't bought a single thing in Tops. I'm just whatever. It is, you do you guys. If you love Tops, that's you're the better for you. Whatever it is, it's not for me. But it kind of feels like I think Rohan's onto this Moments thing. And come on, guys. Like, I don't know if you watch UFC, but there would be some there's Michael Jordan moments basically in the UFC if you do Moments. So I'd be really shocked if they do anything else, to be honest.
It
Yeah.
for me, it's again, like, coming from the card background. I don't look at cards every day. I don't look at my cards and stuff every day. I don't feel the need
Yeah.
to look at them. But I love watching the video. Like, there's something about the video element that, like, again, like, I, as a hockey fan, like, I remember seeing on Sportsnet in February, the NHL has reached out to Dapper is talking to Dapper about doing something for the NHL as well. It's like, yes, because I think about all the great historical hockey moments, right? And how much more that would mean as a video rather than just seeing it on a card. They have stuff with any sport where it's capturing the game, but the card just doesn't do it. You see the fan, all this stuff, like it's a better experience of collecting than I've ever had. And I watch my moments often. Every time I go on the site, I watch a moment or two just to, oh yeah, or I forgot to watch it for a while or whatever. And it's really a different experience, and it really is the future of collecting. I think I'm convinced of it. I think, like, so because I have enough friends in the card industry, people just don't seem to understand how much Dapper has changed things. Every card company is trying to get digital rights for videos right now because none of them have it, and they're probably not going to get it. Like, Tops did this play because they just wanted to get their foot in the door in the NFT space. They're hiring blockchain engineers right now, but I think they did it horribly, and I think they actually shot themselves in the foot. Dapper has changed the landscape of collecting forever, and Top Shot is the first domino in that history.
Yeah, it definitely sets the standard now of what digital, at least sports collectibles are, right? And we talk about UFC, but I'm also excited because they're gonna try to get the NFL too.
Oh yeah.
That when that comes, that's gonna be huge as well. A little bit further down the road, but hey, I'm gonna wrap it up. I appreciate you guys coming on. This was a great conversation. I think people learned a
Bro,
lot.
I know you're not feeling well. I know we
not
gotta
feeling
see
well?
it.
Yeah, I
Wait,
got my
hold on.
COVID
We gotta
shot
see this.
yesterday, and yeah, I've had like fever and chills and aches all day. So but this is like my Jordan flu game. I had to play. I had to play.
when I found out he took a shot yesterday, 48 hours after I took mine, I was out cold. I slept for 20 hours straight. So I pinged him. I'm like, "You sure you want to do this today, man?"
Yeah. I got
Uh,
my first shot a few weeks ago, and it's just thankfully nothing, no real effect. But I'm sure I always hear the second shot is where it kind of kicks you in the butt.
yeah, the first one I didn't
Well,
feel it at all, armor sore, but this one knocked
Yeah,
me out all day.
yeah,
You have that to look forward to. Hopefully, it doesn't affect you as bad. But
yeah.
before we leave, I want you guys, to promote anything that you guys are involved with or your socials. I know Steph has a charity stream tomorrow night. So yeah, tell people about that.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be crazy. Yeah, we have a charity stream for USO, help connect military and members with their family, and yeah, we're gonna do a pretty epic stream tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern to 9 p.m. on my Twitch channel, NBA Top Shot Steph. We're gonna have, Cody Zeller is gonna be on the show with Arsenic, kind of telling
Arsenic
that
is so
story
happy.
about
That's so
the
hilarious.
1,000 Zellers. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy to see his reaction. I don't think he knows about it. And then we're gonna have a bunch of. I try to just line up a bunch of people that are in the Top Shot space that like a lot of people know, and just have fun and raise money and donate moments to the account and just have a good time, do giveaways.
Yeah.
So yeah, make sure you tune into that. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Arsenic is a really good dude.
Yeah, he
He
is.
gives back to the community so much. I'm if I get a I have some stuff tomorrow afternoon but it's like if I get a chance, I want to make sure I tune in because I just want to see that exchange between him and Zeller. That's just going to be the best.
He's gonna be on front with Zeller from 7:15 to 7:45. So.
Oh, perfect.
Oh,
Perfect.
that's a must
perfect
watch.
timing.
Must watch
Yeah,
right
that's a
there.
must watch.
Yeah.
CryptoPapi, promote your stuff, man.
yeah, guys, you can you can hit me up on YouTube, CryptoPapi. There is another CryptoPapi, but we're gonna get that dude hasn't
He's
posted
not
like
the
2
true
years. So
Papi. He is not the
Yeah.
true
he's
Papi.
not the true.
Right.
Wait, he's not. That's right. He's no longer the CryptoPapi.eth. So that that's the one you gotta look up. But anyway, yeah, look me up on YouTube. I'm also on Twitter. I'm at CryptoPapi10 on Twitter. And man, I literally didn't have a Twitter account. I want to say 5 weeks ago, and maybe 6 at most. And I have discovered this absolutely incredible community. I've gotten to know people literally through Twitter. There are so many people I wouldn't even have known existed if it wasn't for Twitter. Clearly, Twitter's where sort of the community kind of congregates, right? And so super active there. I'm loving it. I've got a live stream coming up next week, which is going to be so much fun. So because I'm FOMOing into basically every NFT possible, and I have no clue if I'm making good or bad investments. So guys, if you want to follow
Definition
me,
of degen right there.
dude, yeah, if you want to follow me, don't be doing that because you think like, yo, we're gonna get rich and we'll go to the moon, and the only thing I buy is things that go up. All right, like, you know what? We're gonna get through some bear markets, but I promise you guys, I can get you through a bear market. Like, we'll have some fun in the bear market too. Like, we don't take ourselves too seriously either. And you know what? More importantly, I say this to my really close friends who are still not in NFTs. I say this to all of them. I'm your guinea pig. Don't worry about it. I'm going to make all the mistakes that you don't want to make. And when I learn this and when I figure all this out and I figure out the patterns, I'm going to share every single ounce of it so that you guys don't suffer whatever I suffered through. That happened with crypto way back when. Lots of my really close friends are benefiting and loving it right now because I did the FOMO. I learned the lessons. I told them what not to do, and now they're good. So that's kind of what I'm about. And I've got so anyway. So I set up this live stream for next week. You guys know NFT God, right?
Yep.
Another one of these crazy mofo's that knows a lot about NFTs and always giving stuff away. And we're gonna do a show where he's gonna get to. I'm gonna show him everything I bought, and he gets to either call me a winner or a fucking loser. and we'll see. Again, I don't know, guys. Maybe 50% of what I bought, I'm a loser at. So it should be a fun show. But anyways, guys, I love you all, man. I'm so happy I met everybody in this community, and I think right now, like the whole space, the NFT space is so freaking early, guys. I know, yeah, maybe there's a lot of people saying right now NFTs are going to zero. Top Shot's going to zero. This is the last bull market you'll ever see. Basically, this was like a little run up where people got excited and everything's going to zero. I'm telling you, no, it's not. There will be things that will be winners, and there will be things that will go to zero. And you know what? Let's just try to stay ahead of the game. Let's have some fun while we're doing it. Never invest more than you're willing to lose. And if you have that attitude, then you'll get through it. You'll get through the bear markets, and good things will come if you do your research and you make the right investments.
Exactly. That's why I follow you guys, because all three of you guys are. I learned so much. Even like the short time I've been on Twitter, like NFT Twitter, Top Shot Twitter, I've learned. I find myself on there constantly all day, just because there's so much information that's been being shared and being pumped out that you just learn so much, and it's been great. So I'm going to link all your socials, all your YouTube links, Twitch links on the descriptions.
I have no YouTube show or Twitch show. I just come on Top Shot Cats. That's all I do.
No, but I mean, Lindy is a must follow on Twitter. Lindyholic is a must follow on Twitter. 100%.
I just love what Papi had to say though about Twitter, because like my experience with Twitter and my other accounts and stuff is it can be a real cesspool sometimes of negativity, and I just haven't found that with this so far. I mean, you're gonna find stuff for sure, but it's actually quite low compared to the rest of Twitter. It's a very good experience so far, and everyone's sharing, and everyone wants everyone to do well. Right?
Yeah.
And
guys,
so,
if you don't want negativity, don't freaking follow negativity. It's that easy on Twitter, right? There's a shit ton of negativity on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
You basically just unfollow. That's all you got to do.
And sometimes the block button is your friend.
Yes. I try not to use it too much, but yeah, I appreciate you guys coming on. Thank you so much. We'll have to do this again. We'll have to CryptoPapi. We'll have to get on a show, and I'll show you my NFT after you talk to the NFT god and you tell me if my NFT suck or not.
No, let you come on that show, and he can make fun of both of us if you want.
There you go. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm gonna go to sleep because crap.
You deserve it, man. You deserve it.
Yeah,
thanks for
thank
taking
you.
one for the team, by the way.
Of course, I couldn't. We had a great lineup tonight. I didn't want to reschedule and let everybody down, so we do it. Thank you, chat, for hanging out with us. Everybody have a good night, and we'll catch you guys again next week.
Peace.
Peace, guys.